Hello everybody, welcome back to Valvetronic Designs. Today we're going to be reviewing your exhaust sound clips.
Exactly, we're going to be taking a look at some submitted exhaust clips that came into us, and we're going to rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. We're going to give you our honest opinions, and perhaps give you some feedback of how to make your car sound even better.
My name is Brandon.
I'm Austin.
Let's get right into it. So our first clip here looks like a G80 M4. Take a listen.
Click. Pretty aggressive, I'm liking it. This car is definitely single mid, stock rear, and then no downpipes. I would say in terms of tone, 9, 9.5. With the single mid is the best setup. In terms of loudness though, this is probably only 5.5 to 6. If a straight pipe SVJ is 10, and the stock Honda Civic is 1, we're about a 5.5 to 6. So if you wanted to improve this setup, a set of downpipes could go a long way. What do you think?
Yeah, like you said, very clean sound. Our single mid, it's so popular right now. Like I always say, it's world famous. Everybody loves that mid pipe. So putting on a G80 M3 or M4, it makes it sound a million times better than it does factory. So sound, the tone of it, I love it. I want to say 9.5. And for the noise, I gotta go with you on the 5 as well. It's not super loud. If they want it loud, some SSR downpipes or any other downpipes for that matter would definitely make it louder. But overall, it sounds very good.
Oh, here we go.
Got a little Ferrari here.
I love it.
I love Ferraris. I love Ferraris, man.
That is brilliant.
That's 458, right?
Yeah, so that'd be 458, and I think this car is rocking our valve rear section and set of test pipes. You can't really do much better. You know, I'm thinking 9, 9.5 tone, and then in terms of loudness, man, these cars are loud. I would say if we're talking straight pipe SVJ is 10, this is probably an 8.5 to a 9. The turbocharged car is like a 48 with downpipes, would probably only be like a 7. So yeah, I'm thinking about 9 for loudness, 9.5 for tone. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, that 458's V8 always just sounds so good. So, you know, paired with the downpipes in the rear section, it's awesome. This is a POV video, so it's not as loud from the outside. This thing screams.
It's like going the other way. They would definitely love it.
Yeah. So yeah, I wanna go loudness. 8.5. I've heard this car in person. I love the sound of it. Tone.
10.
10. 10 for sure. That V8, the flat plane crank V8 in that Ferrari is absolutely unbelievable. So one of my dream cars. So.
Absolutely. What's next?
All right. What we got here? This is
G80 Flyby.
Let's see.
This is Hellcat.
Hellcat. Okay. This is for the wine.
Pretty aggressive for sure.
I love that wine. The supercharged
wine.
wine
Is good. I mean, when you put an intake on those cars, the wine is like someone's getting fed into the intake. It's fantastic. Someone's screaming in there. I don't know. So these cars, the Hellcats are interesting. Both the 392s, Scat Packs and stuff, they're actually droney from factory. Anybody who says that's not true, they're lying to you. Those cars are really loud even from factory. So universal mufflers, which is what this customer is running, he's got a mid muffler delete and then the universals in the rear 3-inch. It changes the entire personality of the car because when the valves are closed, it's actually quiet and you can remote start it and it doesn't wake up everybody. And then when the valves are open, it's really, really aggressive. So in terms of tone, these cars have just a really raw bark.
Very rumbly.
Yeah, not my favorite in terms of tone, but universals are very, very effective on this platform. So I'm gonna go a 6.5 in terms of the tone, but in terms of loudness, even with the factory cats, these cars are like an 8, 8.5 in terms of loudness. They are aggressive. And when you do cats, when you get rid of them, it is just the loudest thing ever. You might as well not even be in the same state. It's so loud. Yeah,
no, I like Hellcats. They have a weird tone to them because of the engine and the supercharger. I do think an 8 for loudness. For tone, I'm not a big fan of these cars. I think Coyotes sound better.
Okay. You're gonna get some slack for that. Put in the comments what you guys think about that.
And of course, an E92 sounds better than a 65. But for tone, I'm gonna go like a 6.
All right.
I don't know what can really be done to make it sound like cleaner and better?
You could add some resonators, but the real character of this engine is about like the rawness. So adding some resonators is only going to take away from that. You're not going to get that kind of clean sound you're looking for.
Yeah.
Not the car for you.
Not the car for me. I do want to swing one at one point. But no, it's not bad. It's not bad. I just like we said before, I love the exotic V8s.
All right, fair enough. What's next?
Supra.
Okay.
Okay.
See, this is interesting because our system for the Supra and the development, with the 3.5-inch front section and dual 3 inches all the way back, it gives just such a raw, aggressive sound for this car. The B58s sound phenomenal, and a lot of people with the Supras, this Supra might be their only car. You know, $50,000, it might be someone's only car. They might drive it to work and go to their favorite car shows on the track. So having that flexibility is so valuable. These cars, it's hard to make them really, really loud because if you do the downpipe and then you do the full Valvetronic set, it's pretty aggressive. I would say about a 7 or so, but it's very hard to make the cars any louder than that because the only way to do that is to do a single turbo upgrade. You just need more flow. Only having one turbo is going to restrict how much flow you can get through there. But this car really sounds good. I think the tone is like 8.5, 9. I love the way these cars sound. Yeah. Super raw. The inline six BMW inline sixes always have this nice refined characteristic. And in terms of loudness, I would say this car is about a 7. And I'm a big fan. Put in the comments below what you guys think. Having no pops, love it.
I love it.
No pops, like a couple of natural like cracks on the run down is fine, but nice raw sound the whole way through. I dig it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the minimal pops. And this car, I believe, has stock cats, right?
No, this car has downpipes.
Oh, it has downpipes? Yeah. Okay, so this car has downpipes. I know Devon's has or had stock cats the last time that I was with him. And that car sounds unbelievable. Yeah. I love that. Like you said, the B58, great motor, great sounding motor. Our exhaust is the perfect option for this platform. Whether you want it in gold and be flashy or just polished, it is one of the best upgrades that I've heard so far. I would say I've heard, not this specific car, I've heard another one with our same system and downpipes. It was decently loud, like a 7, 7.5. For the tone, love these cars. I'm gonna go 9. The B58 is a great motor. I love that. So, yeah.
Good setup all around. Let's see what's next.
All right, here we go. Trumpets, man. Trumpets. Kit. This does not have our system on it. I know that. VQs, I know VQ owners.
Well, this was before the guy put the system on, and I think this really shows why the universals work so well for a platform like this. This car, I believe, is no resonators, just straight through. I think it still has primary cats, but the big problem with these is you get that really trumpety, raspy sound, which is not very enjoyable. So I believe when the customer put on the universals, even with the valves open, it helps sap away a lot of that unwanted rasp frequency, just to leave you with nice raw V6 sound. Obviously, these will always have that trumpety sound, but when you straight pipe the cars, they really just get raspy, and you do get some pop, which is nice, and a lot of people enjoy that. But if you're looking for the best tone, having the universals and also having some resonators with this platform is very important. For me, the tone on this is probably 2, 3, 3.5. And in terms of loudness, these cars get noisy very quick. So this car is about a 6.5 or a 7 without.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go around those same numbers. Sorry, VQ boys. Not a fan of the sound of that motor. They are fun. I know you guys, they love swinging them in the 350Zs, they love swinging in the G35.
Good drift cars.
Great drift cars. Motor, just not the best sounding. I have to go with a 2.5 for the tone. Loudness, this one, it's got a big system on it, or had a big system on it before the universals. So
the system was straight through.
Yeah, straight through. So I'd say a 7 would probably be the loud. Just not a good sounding car.
Loud does not always mean good, kids.
Yes.
Very important.
Let's see what's next. All right, 328.
It was a 528.
5. That's 328.
You're gonna get flamed in the comments. It's a 528.
It is a 528.
Yeah. Those four cylinders, they get a lot of hate, but the N20 and N26, they actually can sound pretty good. This car, I believe, is completely stock except for a res delete and the universal valve in the rear, and pretty good actually. I'm pretty impressed. And of course, this is a big executive sedan with the carbon ducktail and the smoke taillights. I don't assume some elderly gentleman owns this.
Yeah.
But these cars are usually owned by folks who only have one car, so having that flexibility with the universal muffler is very important. So in terms of tone, I actually don't mind the way these sound. So I'm going to say a 6 in terms of tone. And in terms of loudness, these cars really don't get that loud. As I explained earlier in the Supras, only having one turbo, you can only get so loud. So I'm going to say about a 5 in terms of loudness.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I do like the sound of this car. I wasn't expecting it to sound that good. Universal muffler, they're the best.
Doing its job?
They're the best. So like you said, yeah, when you want to come home late at night or leave early in the morning to go to Cars and Coffee, they're able to close the valves and go out with no problem at all. You don't bother your neighbors. And then when it's open, it just sounds so good. It's not like a muffler delete where it gets all raspy and gross, because I've heard these cars, these engines with muffler deletes, it sounds awful. It's just so obnoxious. With our universal muffler, it's so much cleaner. So tone, I'm very surprised with the tone. I'm gonna say a 7. Loudness, definitely a 5. It's not super loud, but like we said before, loud doesn't always mean good.
More loud does not mean more better.
Yes. So don't go too loud. It's not the best. There's a point that you reach where it just sounds like crap. So yeah,
good setup though. Yeah, that's what's next. Oh man, okay, here's the police are here.
I love it.
The dog in the background.
No, I love it. Remember when Savage said it sounds like a Ford GT?
It does.
It has that tone. It sounds so good for an SUV. And then you were on Gold Rush in Blake's Explorer,
yeah.
the Exploder. That thing sounds so good. I love that car. A lot of tuning capabilities too.
Oh, they can become real fast. I will leave it up to you guys to watch Jimbo's channel to see how fast the Explorer will actually go. But in terms of this setup, I believe this is just resonator delete and then the universals in the rear. These cars, they do have a nice sound characteristic. I'm actually thinking about possibly buying one of these and maybe making a Valvetronic police car. Stay tuned for that project. But they do sound pretty good. Obviously, having a V6 does handicap it a little bit. If they put the Coyote V8 in this, how cool would that be? That would be the jam. But sounds pretty good in terms of tone. I would say a 6, 6.5. In terms of loudness though, these cars are not crazy loud just with that because the factory cats are very large. So about a 6 in terms of, actually I'm gonna take that back. Probably, I would say a 5 in terms of loudness, 5.5.
Yeah, I'd say I like the tone of this car. Like you said, it sounds similar to a Ford GT. Surprisingly very good sounding V6. I love it. I love it. So I would say for tone, definitely, I'd say high 6. I would say 6.8 for the tone.
Okay.
For loudness, I know it's not that loud. Probably a 4.5 for that matter. But I do love this car. It's becoming very popular to put our universals on this car. Simple resonator delete, like you said, universals. It transforms it from a normal traffic SUV to a very fun SUV.
Yeah.
And you can compete with like G-Class.
Well, no, you can't compete with those guys, but like you would surprise a lot of medium sports car like this and like a Civic Type R are a pretty good matchup in terms of speed. But we do not. Well, this is all allegedly. We do not condone speeding on the street.
Only on the track.
Only on the track.
Only on the track.
What's next?
Looks like a Porsche to me. Let's see.
So that was a 991 RS, maybe just a regular GT3 with like a swan tooth wing, or swan neck wing, excuse me. This car does not have our system on it. It has something on it, but to me, I'm just not a very big fan because these cars with our system, they have a really nice high-pitched RSR sound, and there's a lot of other companies out there that do great engineering, but in terms of sound quality, that's our biggest goal, is to have that really nice raw RSR sound, and this just really doesn't have it. So if the person's looking for recommendations, you got to go with our F1 RSR rear section, because that'll really help bump it up. In terms of tone, these cars ultimately still sound pretty good. You can get these cars to a 9.5, 10 in tone, but this is right now about an 8. It could definitely use some improvement. And in terms of loudness, I don't know if
it's a
this
vacuum
car,
cleaner.
well, I mean, a little bit, but I know how loud these cars are stock, and it sounds like it has something done to the rear section. So I'm going to say about a 7 in terms of loudness, but definitely room for improvement here.
I don't know, for me, it didn't sound like a Porsche. With whatever system is on there, it didn't sound like the Porsches that at least I'm used to.
Yeah.
With that beautiful.
Because you're used to our systems.
I am used to our systems. He's not wrong with that. It just seems like it was lacking
Kinda missed
a
the mark.
lot. It looks cool with the big wang on the back, right? But it just doesn't sound like much. Like Austin said, with our system, the car sounds absolutely insane. It sounds like a GT race car.
Yeah.
So for an upgrade for this car, I mean, he's got to come to us.
Absolutely.
We have him in stock, ready to go. Definitely is lacking in that category. So I'd say from this video, it sounds very quiet. It sounds like a vacuum cleaner. So probably like a 4, 4.5 for a loudness. The tone, it doesn't sound like a Porsche to me. I don't like it at all. I would say a 2.5.
In the edit right now, we'll play a clip of our GT3 system. Take a listen to this. So now you guys can kind of understand where we're coming from. You got to have that RSR sound. Let's see what's next.
All right, looks like a
340. Yeah.
Go.
Kind of a goofy video. Go. I love when there's like narrative in the video. It's funny. These cars, kind of similar to the Supra. This B58 sounds really aggressive. It has the F chassis rear section for F30s, and I believe it has resonator delete and the callus downpipe. These cars sound pretty good. It's tough to make these cars really loud. Same thing with the Supra. Only having one turbo handicaps you a bit, but the tone is definitely there. These engines, because they're a little bit earlier, the exhaust manifold is different on a Supra than it is on a 340, even though it's the same B58. These cars don't sound as good as the Supras, but still sound pretty good. In terms of tone, I'm going to say 6.5, 7 in terms of tone. And in terms of loudness, I would say roughly the same, 6.5 to 7, because these cars can get loud, but nothing crazy.
Yeah, I'm around the same numbers as you. 340s are great dailies.
Perfect car.
Amazing car.
If you had to have one car to do it all, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's fast, it sounds good, it fits the whole family with 4 doors. Great vehicle. Our F chassis system on this, I love it. There's so many people out there with 240s and 340s with that F chassis system. As we're known for, valves, so you can close it. If you have a family, like we just said, with a family car, close those valves, drive with no drone, keep the neighbors happy. I would say for loudness, doesn't sound that loud, especially that you said it has stock cats.
This, I don't know if this does. I think it probably does have downpipe.
Okay, yeah. I would say for loudness, it's probably a 5.5. For the tone, I do like I said before with the Supra, I love the B58 tone. So tone, I would say 7. But I love this car. It's a really good car. Always wanted it.
Good color too.
Very good color. I love that blue.
Let's see what's next.
Ooh.
Oh, here we go.
Mr. Regular M3.
People enjoying the V2 setup. So regular M3 here is rocking the full V2 setup. In terms of tone, it's hard to get much better than this.
Yeah.
The F1 tone on some of the other engines is more exotic, like the Gallardo and the 458 and such, and maybe the F430 Scud. But in terms of the sound quality here, definitely tone is 9, 9.5.
Yeah.
With the V2 set, forward X pipe, dual resonated, valve rear, you just can't go wrong. In terms of loudness too, these cars do get loud. There are other louder setups, but in terms of loudness, I would say this is about 8.5 in terms of loudness. It's very aggressive. If you have a stock M3, you're missing the point here. You gotta get the V2 setup. It's the wave.
Like you said, it could be louder, but when it gets louder, it just sounds awful. There's people out there that straight pipe, you know, completely straight pipe a E92 M3 or E90 M3, and the S65 is so raspy if you don't do it correctly. That's why with our V2 system, it's so popular because of the resonators, the X pipe, the rear section. It's all just perfectly made for this car. We spent years engineering that system. This is my favorite V8 sound. I love the S65. I had a lot of seat time in S65 powered cars. Love driving them. For a tone, 9.9.
Okay, all right.
It's not a 10. It's not a 10, but it is one of my favorite V8s for sure. And then for loudness, it's not the loudest. It's loud to me. I would say a 9 for loudness. This thing will blow your eardrums out as well, but not in a bad way where you're like, oh, like I don't like the sound of that. It's gonna be
you
like
won't plug your ears because it sounds so good. All right, well that's the end of our clips here. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of new style content and video.
Thank you for watching our exhaust review video. If you guys enjoy content like this, drop a like, comment, subscribe. We're definitely interested in doing more.
Absolutely. This was a fun video to make. We hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you want to be featured in one of these videos, please email us at marketing@valvetronic.com and stay tuned for the next video. Perhaps you'll be in it. See you guys in the next one. Take care.